would appear that for the first time ever, the Motor Trend Car of the Year is more than a car. It's a caravan.
In this video, I'm going to redesign the 1996 Dodge Caravan / Plymouth Voyager / Chrysler Town Country into something that could be built today. So let's have a look at these three cars and what the difference is back in 1996. What I love about this car when I was a kid was that this minivan was in the movie Twister. I'm sure you've seen the movie Twister. I think that came out in 1996 as well. And the bad guys there had just a fleet of black, I think they used Chrysler Town Countries, and they looked so cool to me as a kid.
This is the one. Stay sharp back there.
And that's why I love this design. So up here we have the 96 Dodge version of this minivan. I think looking at these, you might be able to correct me on this, but I think Dodge is probably in the middle section when it comes to luxury and features of these three cars. It looks to me like the Chrysler is the most expensive one amongst these three, and then you have the Plymouth down here, almost like a very base model, not even painted bumpers, and then you have this big trim piece in the side and also no painted bumper in the rear. And you have wheel caps, hubcaps for the wheels, while you have proper aluminum wheels on the other two versions. Look at this gorgeous Chrysler right here. We have even some extra lights in the bumper that we don't have on the Dodge or the definitely not the Plymouth down here. Looking at the generation starting in 1984, I love this design because this is so typical 80s with this wood graphic on the side and these wheels, and it's a pretty boxy design. So it's interesting to go through the years here and show you how it got a lot smoother in the 90s and then came back and went back to this boxier design in the 2000s. So this is the 1984 model. Then it got an upgrade for 1991. You can see that the front end got a lot more integrated. All the details, the lights, the grille, and the bumper, they sit more flush with the rest of the body here. Pretty decent looking car for a minivan. I think it's a cool looking design. Then we go into the one that we're going to focus on today, which is the 1996 one right here. Looking at the two differences here between the 91 and the 96, completely different design trends going on in the mid-90s. You can see everything is almost starting to be a little melted here. There are no sharp lines in the side except for this trim piece, but I don't really count that as a body line. And then we have a very smooth but cool looking front end. I really like this design. It looks pretty aggressive for a minivan. Going in to the facelifted 2001 model, I think this is probably my favorite Caravan of all time. I love the smooth, soft features that we have all around, but they did have a great job updating or facelifting both the rear end graphics and the front end to give it more of a personality in the front with a larger area for the graphics in the front. Here is pretty narrow. You can see that it's kind of squinty in the front end in the 96, and in 2001 they kind of stretched everything down and gave it more of a face. And then we have these integrated fog lights in the bottom as well. But looking at the 2008 model here, you can see that they went back to the boxy design of the Caravan, which is interesting. It kind of came full circle back to the 80s design here, and this looks pretty cool as well. But I do prefer still this 2001 model over the 2008 down here. I just think this looks more beautiful when it comes to the graphics and the soft proportions, bubbliness of this car. Before we continue, I'm excited to let you know that we just launched our brand new metal artwork series on TheSketchMonkey.com. These glossy metal pieces of art will stand the test of time while remaining easy to clean. Perfect for your garage, office, man cave, or as a gift for someone who loves cars just as much as you do. Want me to make you a custom-made painting of your car for print? I'm opening up a few spots in the coming months. Just click the link below to learn more. And these come in 6 different sizes, from 8 by 10 inches all the way up to 24 by 36 inches. So go to TheSketchMonkey.com or click the link in the description to order yours. So what we're gonna do in this video, we're gonna take the 1996 model and redesign it into something that could be built today. So how are we gonna do that? As I said, I like the bubbliness of this design. I think it's a cool looking minivan, and I want to keep the proportions of the 90s model, meaning the roundness. I don't want to sharpen it up too much. However, I do want to add a couple of muscles muscle lines above the front wheel arch and the rear wheel arch as well, and they have that be kind of a housing for the both axles. I also want to add a nice line at the bottom of this car that's pretty much horizontal. We don't want to have too much styling and line flow going on in this car because I want to keep the bubbliness, and I don't want to destroy the bubbliness and the softness by adding a bunch of sharp lines. So a couple of sharp lines, 2 above each axle, and then 1 baseline that cuts through the wheels as well. In the front end, I'm gonna take the lights from the new Dodge Hornet and apply it onto this design, but of course modify it a lot to make it fit this front end. And I also gotta bring back the cross grille that we have in a lot of Dodge products back in the day. I think that looks good. It gives it some sort of identity in the front end. Another thing I want to do to make it look more modern is to raise up the glass line or the greenhouse and not have the glass stretched down so far down on the car. Yes, you're not gonna have the same visibility as you would have if you have more glass area, obviously, but I think it's gonna look more modern and also add a little bit of sportiness to this car, because now we have a ratio where the glass area, looking at it from a side view, isn't 50-50 to the door or the body panels. We have a little bit difference there, maybe 65-35%. So you have 65 body down below, and then you have 35 area where you have the glass areas. It's gonna give it some weight down below and make it look a little more planted than if we were to have 50-50 ratio. I also gotta change the side mirrors because I think they need to be updated if we want to have a 2023 model. And last but not least, we need to add some cool wheels to this. I don't care if it's a minivan. I want to have some beefy wheels on this, maybe from a Hellcat or a Challenger or something like that, and apply it on here. Black wheels with this red color, I think that works really well. I also want to bring the overall body down a little bit, so add 1 black trim piece that starts underneath the rear end bumper, going through the side into the front lip in the lower front end. In the rear, I'm just gonna change a little bit styling wise of the bumper. I don't want to have it stick up too much. I want to have it be more flush with the body. That's going to make it look more modern. And I also want to change the door handle. So I want to have some sort of touch pads on the doors instead of door handles in the body. I don't want to ruin this clean surface by adding door handles to it. So I'm going to make some cutouts in the B pillar and the C pillar underneath the rear door, which you can just touch and then kind of slides open or something like that. I'm not sure how that would work in reality, but it's gonna look a whole lot cleaner than if we were to just add door handles onto this minivan. So that's my redesign of the Dodge Caravan. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.